All right, folks, it's Tuesday, a little bit earlier than normal, but that's okay. It's
Mhm.
still Tuesday. You got Lonzo, you got Dusty. We got an internet connection, folks. We're going to make this show happen. But in the meantime, let's get this party started, y'all. From the West Coast to the East Coast and everything between, folks. From Eve after dark concerts in the park. You're live with your boy Lonzo, the Godfather of West Coast hip hop. We do this every Tuesday, most of the time around the same time. But today, we're a little bit early, but we're all right. Dusty.
Yeah. What's
Let's do
good,
it.
Lonzo?
Man, just running like a chicken with my head cut off today. You know how we do it.
Hey, as long as you stay busy, man, that's the most important thing.
Man, yeah, I stay too busy sometimes. But you know what? I wouldn't have it any other way, man.
hmm
Yes, sir. Talk to me.
That's what's up, man. Hey, school is back. Kids are back in school, Lonzo. I want to take a little trip down memory lane tonight for a bit and talk about your school experience. Now, let's go all the way back, Lonzo. What was a typical back to school like for you? And let's start with school shopping. Where were your parents taking you to school? What were you picking? Did you get to wear what you wanted? Break it down for us.
Now, it's funny you should say that, man, because my son asked me a similar question last night. We were riding home. I picked him up from the airport. He said, man, Pops, what stores did you shop at when you were a youngster? And the number one store in the hood was Sears and Roebuck. Okay. I went to Catholic school most of my young life, from the first grade to about the sixth, seventh grade. So you could add a store in Compton. You could buy the uniforms at. Then they got it. I guess Sears got a contract, so we started going to Sears, which was a major family outing, Doc, because everybody went to Sears. My mama went, my daddy went, the whole family piled up in the Cadillac, me and my sister and my brother, and we going to Sears. It's like going to Disneyland because you saw all the stuff you saw in the catalog, okay? We got to see his catalog at Japan, and then with that bicycle, they go that EAZY bake oven, or whatever the case may be. Well, we went to buy school clothes, but we had a good time in the meantime. But yeah, that was the first day, man. But I always remember back when I was going to school, Labor Day was a bittersweet holiday because when I was going to school, we went to school the day after Labor Day. Day after Labor Day, you go to school smelling like barbecue smoke. Okay? Barbecue smoke and Old Taylor at my house because moms and pops and barbecued, had a couple of drinks, and moms and on your eyebrows a couple times, and you off to school. And it was just a different experience. When I got to junior high school, it was still the day before Labor Day, after Labor Day, but it was school clothes weren't. They bought them, but they weren't as important as they were when you were a kid. When you were a little kid, you bought brand new school clothes. We had to wear them brown and salt and pepper pants, white shirt, the little green tie, St. Albert's, the little green sweater. So sweaters had a nice little fresh, clean smell to them. But when I got to junior high school at Vanguard, it was a little different. You might have got some couple pair of jeans, some new gym shoes, and a couple shirts because you wasn't growing as fast as you were in junior high school. So you could still wear a lot of the same stuff. And then by the time I got to junior high school, now eighth grade, I was wearing my daddy's stuff. So Pops, when he laid something down, I scoop it up. It may be a little bit on the big side, but back then, even as junior high school students, we dressed like old dudes. We wore hats and sometimes sport coats to school. And when I got to Centennial, it was just a totally different thing, man. We didn't really trip on school clothes that much. You might have gotten a new pair of Chuck Taylors and got your hair done. You know, all the girls got their hair done. All the boys got a haircut. Most of the boys got a haircut. I know I did. And that was how we fell upon the school. That was my school trip.
What was your favorite thing about high school and your least favorite thing about high school?
My favorite thing about high school was the freedom to be able to ditch if I wanted to. Because once you went to second period, you was at school for the day, far as they knew. As long as you did homeroom, as long as you did homeroom, you was at school for the day. You couldn't get in trouble for ditching school because you was on the You know what I'm talking about. We made the roll call for the day.
Oh, okay.
A lot of times we would just slide out of school after lunch, might ditch third and fourth period, fourth and fifth period, depending on what time your lunch was. So it was always something good because I had a little girlfriend not far from the school. I can go dip in, dip out, still be back in sixth period for ROTC. ROTC was my favorite part of school. I know that sounds crazy as hell. ROTC was my favorite part of school because I was in charge. I was in charge from the first time, they first touched down. I became an ensign in the first semester, and by the first semester of the second semester of my junior year, I was battalion commander. So I was always doing stuff, but running shit. So it just made a whole school wasn't in it. And here's the cold part. A lot of the classes I had at Centennial, I had them I had a lot of that stuff in junior high school. St. Albert's. St. Albert's was way ahead of Compton Unified School District. Way ahead. So I kind of breezed through junior high and high school with no problem. I didn't, it was, I had a good foundation. So by the time I got to Centennial, I didn't need no math classes. I only had one English class. Now it was a creative writing class. I didn't have gym because I had ROTC. And I had one geography class, something like that. And then did a couple of electives, shop classes. Dude, high school was cool for me.
Tell us about the high school dance, Lonzo. How you asked the girl the night before, the build up for it, what the school was talking about leading up to the high school dance. Break down that experience for us.
The high school dance, man, back at Centennial was high pressure, dude. It wasn't just a dance, it was a fashion show. Homecoming at Centennial, you had to go get a tailor-made pair of pants or something, dude. And you had to have some damn near new biscuits. If not new, well shined. Because that was where we showed off at. Homecoming dance. What else? The after prom. A lot of cats didn't go to the prom. They'd go to the after prom because that's where you can flex. We didn't flex at the prom because we still had ducktail suits or little penguin suits, and we were still wearing ruffled shirts. And I was starting to play out, but it hadn't played out yet. Folks still was doing that, with the Cassars thing. And because if you was trying to be halfway cool, you wasn't really trying to pick no girl up in no station wagon, take her to the prom. But you could go to the prom, the after prom in the station wagon, okay? Long as you was clean. And the whole vibe of going to, it was I know it was a homecoming and something else that we had at junior and high school that required us to either go to the tailor or go shopping. That's how we were. We were the last generation of kids that really cared about fashion. I mean, they talk their game right now. As long as they got somebody's name on it, they'll wear a t-shirt with a name. We didn't play that. We had to have some fly shit on your back, from the tailor-made pants with your initials on the pockets, the piping down the seam. Biscuits had to have mirrors on them. Okay, it was a different vibe. And the pants, and usually the tailor man would make you a pair of pants and a hat to match.
Damn, y'all was fly, man.
Man, I'm telling you, we grew up in the Superfly era. I got pictures of dudes at high school wearing maxi coats and big ass pimp hats, dude. That was our influence at the time. That was our influence, was the pimp and the 70s movies. Real talk. Afro puffs and everything.
Now we got dating apps and things like that, Lonzo. How did you hit up the ladies for, to be your date for, say, the homecoming or the prom?
You know what? Homecoming, I didn't really take a date to homecoming. That's kind of the thing. You see somebody in your homeroom class. You gonna be in the homeroom? Yeah, I'm gonna be there. All right, I got it. I'm gonna get a dance with you, right? Yeah, I'm gonna save you one. Okay, cool. Prom, you took somebody to prom. Okay, I didn't go to Centennial prom. I went to Gardena prom, and all the super fine girls at Gardena already spoken for. So I had to go import me a chick from Locke to go to my prom with me. Okay. And her name was Doretha Lyles. Still, she was fine. She went to Locke. They had a prom on a different day. So she was available to go to the prom with me. And we hung out. We didn't hook up though. Now here's the cold part. Here's it. Boy, I wasn't shit back in the day. Baby mama, my girlfriend is pregnant. I take one girl to the prom, dump her after the prom, take her straight back to the house, go home, change clothes, meet another girl at the after prom. Okay? Because my partner, one of my friends in one of my girls, her cousin, one of my girls was on the after prom committee. Her cousin wanted to go to the after prom. Cousin was fine. So the deal was, bring my cousin to the after prom. I'll get y'all both in. Cool. $20 back then. Shit, you got to ride, baby. You got to ride. So when I got to the after prom, I ditched her. She went home with her cousin, and for the grad night, I took somebody else. I was doing big things, man. Shit.
All right, you got your date, you got your flight clothes, you have your tickets. What was the vibe like as you're entering whatever, the gymnasium or whatever? You know, tell us what music was playing in the background. Give it to me.
1975 prom at Gardena High School was at the Sportsman's Lounge out in the valley, out the 405. So I had to drive the freeway all the way out there. My daddy's Grand Prix. Daddy had a 73 Grand Prix with the sunroof top. 73 Grand Prix looked like a Monte Carlo. It was the Monte Carlo of the Pontiac division. I threw on, and I had a Malibu. Just so happened, Malibu and Pontiac is both GM cars. So my rims off my Malibu fit on my daddy's Pontiac. So I threw my rims on my daddy's car, pulled up in the prom with my little 520s on my daddy's Grand Prix, sunroof open. Oh, it was a little chilly, but shit, it was all right. But I was clean. I was cool. And that's all that mattered. Fell off in the party. Man, I couldn't tell you what was the music. Might have been Earth, Wind & Fire or something. Because Earth, Wind & Fire was real big in 75. Probably was some EAZY Brothers, because EAZY Brothers was known for making records right before like May. They would drop right around May or early June and set the tone for the whole summer. So it might have been some EAZYs or some Earth, Wind & Fire. Or maybe
I'm definitely seeing Earth, Wind & Fire. I'm seeing some Barry White, EAZY Brothers.
Yeah. Or even Ohio Players. They was killing it back in the 70s, man. So all that was available to us in the 70s. And like I said, that after prom was over like 11:30. 11:30, we was headed home, so we headed to the after party. So to the after prom, I shot baby girl back to her house, gave her a hug, jumped back in the Grand Prix, went home, jumped in my Taylors, shot to the top, got my friend's cousin, and shot down to the Total Experience for the after party. Oh yeah, it was going down. Didn't leave that till about 5 o'clock in the morning. We did it like that. We wasn't trying to kill each other either. That made a big difference. With no alcohol in the building. So for us to be up to 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning, wasn't nothing back in the day. Club it was a problem. It was funny because even adult nightclubs would put the liquor up and host a after prom back in the day because they knew it was easy money. Back then, $20 a head. Come on, man. In the 70s, dude. That was a lot of money, dude. Prom was like $35. Like $35 to go to the prom. A lot of cats didn't make it for that $35. The prom cost you at least $100. Written a tuxedo, the prom bid, you got to buy a corsage. If you had a mom or a dad that knew anything about tradition, you had to buy the girl a corsage to pin on her. Oh, no. It's going to cost you about $100, $125 to go to the prom. And that was a lot of money, especially cats weren't having no jobs back then. I just happened to have a job.
Are there any updates on the new Compton High School, Lonzo? Have you heard anything to the best of your knowledge? How's everything going up there so far?
It's open. I did a story on it for the paper. It's wide open. I went to the grand opening last week. Something I saw that was just kind of disheartening on Facebook. Some asshole wrote on the wall, took the C of Compton and wrote Crip on it, which I think it's, man, come on, dude. I'm going to write a story about that today as well, because I'm tired of seeing people just tear up shit. In fact, here's some shit I just saw myself the other day. Somebody stole the EAZY Street signs, man. Somebody stole 2 of the EAZY Street signs. The main one we stood in front of.
I'm surprised it lasted this long. I'm just keeping it real.
You know, I am too, but I figured if they lasted this long, well, nobody gonna get them. I thought we was gonna get some respect. I thought we was gonna get some respect. Psych. They had to climb up on a truck or a hell of a ladder to get them signs, man. Because those signs are like 10 feet up in the air, dude. They are taller than the basketball court, that's for sure, because you can't slap that sign. You can't jump. I know I damn sure can't jump and slap the sign. I could slap the bottom of a rim. I can't slap the rim. And those signs had to be as high as the rim. Somebody stole 2 of them.
Damn shame, man. Damn. Well, that was a good run. So how does that work? Are they gonna put them back up, or
I reported to the
responsible for putting it back up?
City put them back up. That's open street signs. You have to put them back up. I reported it to some of my folks in Compton, and they filled out a repair ticket. So you know, it's gonna take what it takes to get it back up there.
Now let's go back to this turning the C in Compton High into crib. That's ridiculous. Lost Lonzo. Nah, but for real, what do you guys think about that? Come on, man. City of Compton can't have anything nice without someone messing it up. That is crazy. They turned the C in Compton High and they put CRIP. Disappointed in the niggas, man. And they ended up still in the Compton side, the EAZY Street Compton side. And like I told Lonzo, I'm pretty surprised it lasted that long. I think it was put up in November 2023, if I'm not mistaken. And here we
I have no idea what happened.
2025. Oh, there we go. Yeah. No, it's disheartening about the EAZY Street, Lonzo, but yes, it's also disheartening to hear that someone turned the C in Compton High into crib.
Yeah. You know, and that right there, if wasn't so much money invested in the school, that would kick. It's like a kick in the balls. No matter what you try to do to make something better, some asshole got to put his name or got to deface it some way, form, or fashion with something that don't mean nothing to nobody but him. And I bet you hear the quote, he ain't gonna put his name on it. He just did it. You know, and it's gone now. But the fact that somebody even did it to a school that beautiful. I was on campus last week, man, when they opened school. Man, that campus looks just like a college campus, dude. The person that wrote on that wall, he ain't got no future. He can't stand to see success because what he represents, ain't nobody trying to really do no more. He's trying to hold on to something that's only valuable to him. Without that little thing that he wrote on the wall, he don't have nothing. He ain't gonna step up and become a A student. He's stuck in that particular phase of his life, and he can't let it go. And he thought that was funny. He thought it was cool, but no, man, that's really sad, dude. That school cost like $15-20 million to build, man. 5 years. Dre gave up 10. I guess it was another 10 to 15 invested overall. The school is beautiful, man. I can't wait to go by. They got a football game on Thursday. I can't wait to go to the game, man, because the game was going to be on the new field. They got Centennial playing Compton, 5 o'clock. So all this right here, man, is just it's just sad to see people try to do something and somebody else feels their personal need supersedes the city or the students of the school. Either way it goes, it ain't right.
And for anyone who's thinking about stealing an EAZY sign, you can get them from Lonzo for a very small price. And I have one myself, and please don't go out there and do that, you dummy.
Yeah. Why take a chance? Because if you get caught, you're going to go to jail.
Mm-hmm. They don't play with that. They don't play with that.
They're not playing with that. That's city property, man. And you're gonna get caught. You get caught up for if you got one and don't have a reason to have it, you can get caught up. So And again, we got them. If we don't have them, we can get them. It's doable, baby. It's real doable.
Well, damn, man. Let's switch up the vibe, Lonzo. Since you brought that topic up, I would love to get into a few things that I would like to discuss with you. I was recently interviewing someone on my program, and as you know, and maybe a lot of people don't know, I interview a lot of people who have done prison time or currently in prison 20, 30 years for BS that they did back in the 90s. And someone made a quote on my show this past week, Lonzo. And as soon as he said it, I put it in my Lonzo notes because I was like, I wonder what Lonzo would think about this. I'm going to give you the quote word for word. He said, and I quote, "I never had a birthday party, but every time my brother got out of jail, we threw a party."
Told
End
you.
quote. Talk to me, dog.
Some folks will celebrate going to jail and getting out of jail before you celebrate a birthday party. I don't understand it. I don't understand. They will celebrate somebody going to jail or coming home from jail before they celebrate a birthday or even any other accomplishment. Brothers go get degrees all the time, and you might get some cupcakes, pat on the back, and a couple pictures on Instagram. Brother come home from jail, he gonna get a full-blown party. The whole hood gonna be there. They're gonna turn up to no level. Turn up to a whole new level, I should say. Yeah, man, I don't understand it, Doc.
Yeah, that was disheartening when I heard that. That was really messed me up. Just like the CRIP thing just messed me up. When I heard him say that on my show, that messed me up, man.
It's amazing that some of us celebrate some of the damnedest shit. I don't get it. Some of us celebrate some of the damnedest shit. Like, what?
Yeah.
Why does that deserve a party? I mean, welcome home. I'm glad to have you back. Especially if you was wrongfully accused. But if you did
it, yeah, you pistol whipped that Asian lady. You did it,
play. What are we really celebrating? The fact that you committed a crime and did your time for society. And what did you learn while you was in there? Are you coming back to get ready to go back again? Are you have you really turned your life around? That we celebrating the fact you turned your life around? That's a little bit different, man. But just to say somebody throwing a party because somebody came home from jail, especially if they did it. Hey.
And you ain't never had a birthday party? Like,
never had a birthday. Nah, man. You know what? Some people will just as soon rather go to your funeral than your birthday party. You ever notice that? Funerals will be bigger than birthday parties. I
see most of my family at funerals, unfortunately.
Funerals are bigger than birthday parties. People will celebrate your death before they celebrate another year of your life. You know, some people, not all, some people will celebrate your death much faster than they will celebrate another year of your life. And the old man at the club told me that. And because I used to do birthday parties, I was the king of birthday parties. He said, you better go and book you about 10 to 15 of them, get you a couple hundred folks in there because you're waiting on one person, because one person ain't going to do you no good. And every once in a while, one person who is very popular will have a significant birthday party, but usually it took about 3 or 4 to really fill the club up. And that's just real talk, Doc. But let somebody have a funeral. Man, people take off work. They're going to go get a T-shirt, get some T-shirts made. Dude, I was at a funeral at Inglewood Cemetery. And you could see across the hill, whoever it was had to be a lowrider because they had a lowrider hearse. They were smoking. They was on graves taking pictures. Oh, dude, it was a whole different kind of celebration, and nobody had on anything from the mourning colors like black. No, it was all regular clothes, house shoes, white socks, slippers, flip flops, whatever you want to call them, slides. It's a different kind of dude, man. My brother, Randy, rest his soul. He had a friend who, before he passed, he told her, "If I ever die, I want you to sing at my funeral." We had to put her in the back room because homegirl came to the thing in pajamas and slides. I ain't bullshitting. We had to put her in another room, put a microphone in another room because when she realized that my brother, he lived one way, but his family lived a little bit different, she was embarrassed. So we had to put her in a room behind some blinds, like, and stuck a microphone in there. She sang her ass off, but she slid her ass right up out of there as soon as she got through singing, and she was not dressed for a funeral. And I've seen people do it a lot, especially this generation. Just come to the funeral like they just left jail. Hey man, got these slides with the fresh white socks and a fresh white tee. I'm gonna see my boy off.
Hey, Lonzo, can you shoot your email address real quick? I'm trying to find it. Someone's inquiring about buying one of the signs.
All right.
What's your email address again?
Real Lonzo N.W.A.
There you go. I knew it was something simple like that. Real Lonzo N.W.A. Real Lonzo N.W.A. No A, just Real Lonzo N.W.A. And hit him up at Gmail, and he'll definitely. Actually, let me put it. There you go. Boom. He put it in there right now. So yeah, hit up Lonzo if you want one of those signs. I have one. It's well worth it, and it's something that if you're a real hip hop fan, in 20 years you're going to look at it and still appreciate it like you did when you first bought it. So definitely get one, ladies and gentlemen. Shit, we're halfway through the show, Lonzo. Let me go ahead and remind everybody to hit that like button if you haven't already. The chat fam is on fire tonight. I really appreciate you guys. We appreciate you. If you have any questions, please go ahead and post them in the comment section. I'll copy and paste them, and we'll ask the Godfather his opinion on your questions or his feedback on your questions later on in the show. And once again, hit that like button if you haven't already. And if this is your first time joining the channel and you like what you hear, please hit that subscribe button. I was listening to one of your interviews, Lonzo, and you were discussing Public Enemy. And in that talk, you were discussing going, I believe, to paintball or something like that with some friends. And Public Enemy was on the radio. And you just remembered that vivid time. And then you said a quote that I would like you to elaborate on, which was very interesting. You said, quote, "We went from brothers to niggas overnight." End quote.
Oh yeah,
talk to me, man. Talk to me.
That transition was amazing, especially to somebody like myself. We all, back in the day, LA Dream Team, World Class Wreckin Cru, Bobby Jimmy and the Critters, and a couple other groups, we always toured together. They booked us on the same shows a lot. It's like Cameo, you see Cameo and March Day. That's how it was back in the day for us. And when we weren't on tour, we enjoyed going to play paintball. Me, Yella, Dre, Rudy from the LA Dream Team, Snake Puppy didn't go, Bobby Jimmy, and Arabian Prince. We'd all go to Malibu and go hunting for the enemy. Let's put it that way. We had a group called Just Us. With we were the only black guys out there. Just Us. That's what it was called. Just Us. And we was notorious. We was tearing their asses up. It got so bad they started complaining to the referees because we kept winning. Because the game was called Capture the Flag, and it's like football almost. You got a flag on one end. You got to get down there, shoot, not get shot, get the flag, and run back to your home base. Well, Rudy was a fucking track star, okay? And we would position ourselves in different places. I wasn't no slouch back then as far as running. So you get a couple of guards on you, and you shooting in at folks and running. And long as the guy with the flag didn't get hit, you was in good shape. And we kept winning. And so hey man, we're gonna break this team up and put them over here because we were smashing their asses. But on the way down there, I'll never forget long as I live, we played Public Enemy a lot. Russ Pryor, he was the driver. We in the van, he bumping Public Enemy. Okay. I forgot the name of the song, but it was a dope song about the sister sitting in the corner doing something, blah, 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 blah. And it was just a dope song. And we loved this song. We loved the whole Public Enemy vibe. And we was on some brotherly love type stuff, man. Just kicking it. We go out and buy sandwiches, piece up on the paintball. We buy cases of paintballs by the day. We buy a case. We buy, sodas. That was our activity as young black men.
By the time I get to Arizona.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah, okay.
I had to, it was coming to my head as you were saying it.
Yeah, okay. And that was a song, man. We just be the back, just rolling up the 405, go up in the hills of Malibu. And it was just a vibe. We had a community type vibe of us. And the white boys started cheating because what we didn't realize until later on, they was freezing the paintballs. They put them in the ice because first of all, if you leave them out in the sun, they'll bust in your gun. They covered in plastic. Plastic is just like chocolate. It gets hot, it'll melt fast. When that burst of air hits it, it just inside the gun. So you're supposed to keep them in a cool, dry place, but you're not supposed to freeze them. You put them in the cooler, they get frozen. Now that plastic gets hard as hell. Now it ain't busted. It's knocking the shit out your ass. You got a paintball about that big around, okay? About that big around, and it's the size of a nice slug. And if it's frozen, it ain't gonna break, and it's coming at you at 300 psi, 300 feet per second. And if you up close on somebody, you will break the skin. If you're up close, you will break the skin. If you far enough away, even when they're at their regular texture, you will be bruised up like you was in got hickeys. Because my girl came home, we had bruises all over us. What you been? Who you been with? I got all over my chest. It's just because we didn't have no pads on. We was too dumb to buy pads. Everybody else had on pads. We was out there in t-shirts. So, but yeah, man, that was the vibe we had. It was a smooth thing, and then shortly after that, we were still world-class Wreckin Cru. Dre Yella, we all was out there, world-class Wreckin Cru, and that's how EAZY got into he wanted to go with us. He bought the paintball shotgun, and paintballs back then was so new. The paintball shotgun looked like a sawed-off shotgun, about that big, and it had CO2 cartridges inside of it. It didn't have the CO2 cartridges on the outside like the modern day guns do. Back then, they were like old BB guns. You put the CO2 tank inside, and you couldn't see it. So it looked like a real shotgun, just like a lot of your pistols, your CO2 pistols look like real pistols because the CO2 tank is inside the handle. It's not like a regular paintball where you got this big-ass tank on the back of it. So whole different thing. Anyway, Public Enemy was our groove, and one day we wasn't brothers, we was niggas. And I witnessed that transition firsthand. Again, you got to remember, we had N.W.A, and I'm sorry, we had Public Enemy and Luke Skywalker right around the same time. Okay, right around the same time. I think Luke might have been around, but he hadn't blown up yet. So you had two different situations that was getting a lot of media attention. One was sex, one was black nationalism, and they was trying to find some way to fit in and get the same kind of recognition, and that's when they adapted the gang lifestyle.
Next thing you know, we're niggas. All right, I'm gonna give you a lyric, Lonzo, and I want you to break it down and tell me how it made you feel when you first heard it and how you feel now. We've done this in the past. Just a simple lyric from Public Enemy since we're talking about them. The lyric says, quote, "Fight the power. We got to fight the powers that be," end quote. Simple lyric with a lot of meaning. What does that mean to Lonzo?
That means that Black Lives Matter. That means that you can't sit on your ass and watch the world go by. That means you have to get active some way from the fashion. Whether some people feel go out there and grab a sign, some people feel go out there and vote, some people feel that they should run for office, but you got to be involved. You can't change the game from the sidelines. You got to be on the field. Bottom line, you cannot change any game from the sidelines. Okay, 6 players is what they call the fans, the 6th player in basketball. That is true to a certain degree, but they don't make touchdowns. They may inspire touchdowns. They may give the motivation for a touchdown, but they can't score one. And that's the big difference. So if you want to be successful in something, you got to get on the field, baby. And that's what Fight the Power says. You got to be in the field. You need to fight the power right now, or shit's going down.
Yeah. What did that mean to a generation going back, Lonzo? Because you was old enough to understand it, but I want to delve a little bit more into it, where you have a group of young Black kids interested in where they come from, where their ancestors came from. They're rocking red, black, and green. They're, wearing naturals. The ladies have stopped going to get their hair pressed and permed and kinked out and all this, and now they're wearing naturals. You know, looking back, even back then, did you understand how powerful that was, and what did that mean for a generation to be going through that?
Not only did I understand how powerful it was, so did the powers that be. They couldn't go through that. They just went through that in the 60s, man, in the 70s. They just got through dealing with the Black Panthers, Us Movement, Ron Karenga, and all those black organizations, and they had to eliminate people, literally, to keep that uprising from happening. So they could not, this time they couldn't do it the same way, so they found another way to do it. It gave the young generation an alternative, and then they gave them motivations to become who they became. Because Fight the Power was pre-crack. It was pre-rock cocaine. Okay, understand this. And this is something most people don't understand. If you remember, it was two eras of crack cocaine. There was a cocaine era, white powder up your nose, blah blah blah. Then there came the freebase. The freebase is what Richard Pryor did and caught on fire. Richard Pryor catching on fire was the best anti-drug freebase commercial you could have ever did. Okay, when homeboy Richard Pryor caught fire in the late 80s, early 90s, I think it was. Freebasing was, oh no, we ain't messing with that shit. That shit burned up Richard Pryor. But then they found a way to pre-cook it, and the price of everything went down. And then now brothers in the streets is doing something they never done before. They got cocaine the C word, pre-packaged, ready to go. All you gotta do is get you a corner and sell it. You're gonna make all the money you need. And that's when they got us. Because now the gangs who have been around at that time for at least 25, 30 years. Gangs came out in the 70s. A lot of gangs came out in the 70s. Now it's in junior high school. So by the 80s, 15, 20 years, they were they never had a real motivation. They was just doing what they was doing to survive. But the crack cocaine era gave them finances and a serious motivation to light the streets up. And everything was so new. The gang era at that level was so new, along with the drugs they were selling was so new. Nobody knew nothing about it. Everybody was playing catch up. While the police was paying catch up while the brothers were making money killing each other.
Thank you, D-Cause. Much appreciated, brother.
I didn't see that. What we doing?
D-Cause shot us 20 bucks.
Yeah, much love, Doc. Thank you, man. I appreciate that. Yes, Richard Pryor was on the ether, and the ether is explosive by itself. Ether is an explosive. You ever watch that movie with Martin and Will Smith when they leaving the club?
Yeah.
They got a whole truck full of ether. Okay, ether is like gasoline. It's highly flammable. So when you got to cut something, you got to light something or prepare something with something that's already flammable. Unless you got a fire suit or a fire extinguisher, you putting your life in your hands just to get high. I remember seeing cats use 151 just to light it up. Because 151, Bacardi 151 will hold a flame, a good flame. And that's how brothers was smoking it, because you couldn't do it with a book of matches. Matches ain't gonna last long enough. So yeah, man, it was a whole different situation. Like I said, Richard Pryor, his incident became probably the world's best anti-drug commercial you could ever do. And then they went back and reformulated it, processed it differently, and came back with something that we all know just changed hoods around the world, made millionaires and zombies at the same time.
You know, you've mentioned in the past that Richard Pryor was someone that you loved to listen to. You behind your parents' back a lot as a kid, along with the other kids in the neighborhood. You know, how did the news cover that when Richard Pryor, this famous comedian, doing movies and all of this with Gene Hackman and stuff like that? How did the news cover it when Richard Pryor got caught on fire from this thing called freebase?
See, Richard Pryor was known for being in trouble anyway. He had shot up his car, beat up his wife. He was a well-loved comedian, but his private life fucked up. Okay, he was doing all kinds of stuff. He was a known drug head, but he was on powder snow before he even got to the other stuff. That was it. The other stuff was the elevation before he started that. And he had a lot of issues, man. And so it was just for the news, it was just something else. And Richard Pryor just took that situation and made it part of his comedy skit. You know, he lit a match one day. I heard what y'all did to me. Lit a match. Just Richard Pryor running down the street, shit like that. So he always was able to take certain situations and make it funny. And the news just kind of, I ain't gonna say blew it off, but it was like, just Richard Pryor, you know, just Richard Pryor. Typical Richard.
Now, here's something that I didn't learn until later with the advent of the internet and things like that, and me just looking up people that I was fascinated with, and Richard Pryor was one of those people. But I didn't understand and know that he was allegedly, but most likely now, part of the rainbow community. He was dipping his toe in a lot of other stuff. Did people know that back then? Was that like a real big story? Did you hear say?
Ah, man, I ain't hear none of that stuff till later on, man. I think that might have had cats, especially from the hood in the 70s, in the 80s. He'd have had a whole different. He'd lost a lot of brothers, man, because brothers never did, you know, never did that kind of stuff out in the open. You know, allegedly he smashed Marlon Brando and Quincy Jones and a few other folks. So, but again, that stuff was not common knowledge back then, man. We know him for knocking down Pam Grier and that other girl, Lynette McGee. Him and Lynette McGee did in a few movies together. So I was envious of the dude. He had some fine ones on his tip. And then found out he was smashing Pam Grier too. More power too. You were smashing Pam Grier and Marlon Brando. Damn, dude, you were doing too much. You're doing too much, bitch.
You're doing too much. Damn, man. All right, so when Pryor recovered from this thing, did he go on TV and do interviews, and did he make fun of himself, or do you remember like what the aftermath of that whole thing was?
I remember him doing a stand-up comedy routine, and that match thing I just showed you was one of the things he did. You know, y'all fucked up. Y'all, I seen y'all talking about me. Took a match, lighted. What is this? He blew it out. It's Richard Pryor, run down the street, okay? And that he made fun of himself, okay? And he talked about the whole drug thing, and you know, and at some point in time, I think one time he went to Africa, and he came back and he was like, "Oh man, I realized ain't no more. I went to Africa and I didn't see that one nigga, man. It was just I couldn't be a nigga no more." And for whatever reason, that I don't know whether that word was a part of his power or his humor, but he wasn't as funny when he was not doing what he was doing. You know, he wasn't as funny. He was always silly. He always did a lot of difficult, crazy stuff. But when it came to that right there, he wasn't as funny to the masses. You know, maybe that's part of that self-degradation that people like about entertainers in our community. We tend to be the first ones to clown ourselves. And you know, he lost some of that appeal. You know, when he did that bicentennial N-word and this N-word is crazy, he was hot as fish grease, man. But again, he had been through so much, you know. Could you really blame him? You know, I met Richard Pryor in person. I've met Richard Pryor in person at the backstage at the Comedy Store up in Hollywood. I was starting to do my comedy club on Avalon El Segundo. I invited him down, man. Come on down, man. I invited everybody. And he couldn't make, oh man, I would love to, but he give you the Hollywood brush off. But again, I talked to him for a few minutes, man. He was a very quiet, shy dude, man. He was real, like he was almost scared. Maybe he was nervous for going on stage. I don't know. But I know a lot of comedians that are like that, man. You see him away from the cameras, away from the crowd, and they're introverts like a son. They sit there, man, and just get the same dude on stage, and he turns the whole show out.
Legend. Let's get to some questions. We have about 12 more minutes. D-Cause says, hey, Lonzo, quick question. Did you catch the surgery reference in the Dre and Snoop short film at the end when Snoop kept referring to Dre singing Dr. Dre?
No.
No, I don't know. Do they have a short film out? I'm not even hip.
Which one is that? What film is that?
Let us know, D-Cause, which one you're talking about. Yeah, nope, not hip.
Not familiar.
But okay, Surgery. Let's talk about Surgery a little bit, man. How popular was Surgery back then? The song. Did the crowd like when Drake played it? Was it one of your, we hear it a lot because we talk about it here, but was it one of your biggest songs at shows and things like that?
No. It was funny, man, because we made Surgery first, then we made Juice. Juice was our biggest dance song for a while. But of all the songs, we had Juice. We made our first album. World Class, had Juice, Surgery on there. But the biggest song out of all of them was Lovers. Lovers was our first introduction to radio. I mean, Juice and Surgery got played because we had good promotion on the record, and it did well. It did very well down south. It did very well against the Latino crowd. In fact, I got a show. I just booked a show, man, for November 15th here in LA. I think it's going to be the Long Beach or San Pedro car show. I'm waiting on the contract right now, but they want to hear Surgery and Juice. Okay, and I'm gonna bring it to them too. Damn it, I don't give a damn. I ain't got nothing else to do. Okay, but our big hits was Lovers, the first one, and then Turn Off the Lights just blew up to the next stratosphere. And people, oh man, y'all was doing this, y'all, man. That was why would I do something different when I'm being successful over here? And that was always my situation. Why am I trying to reinvent myself when I'm already a success over here doing these right here? Over here, I'm just another artist, but when I do this right here, I stand out in the crowd. So that was one of the things that we fought about. Why would I want to take off these shiny ass suits and put on some tennis shoes and start grabbing my nuts and start competing with other brothers when the ladies love us? What is it? Why would I want to do that? I could not get it. And I understand the world changed, the hood changed, so the world changed. But for us, we had a niche nobody else had. Not many people have had as much success as rappers as we have with songs like Turn Off the Lights and Lovers. They later on they became successful, but for the most part, not a lot of rappers have had as much success as we've had with those two records.
You know what, they're mentioning Harlem Nights in the comments section, and man, that is such a classic movie. That's probably my favorite movie. One of my favorite, has to be up in the top 5. I could say that movie word for word. Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, amongst a lot of others, were in that movie. But I want to ask you a question about those 3 specific ones: Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy. Can you explain who had the bigger impact on comedy? Because you were around to be able to, understand all of them and see their come up. Eddie obviously went on to be a huge movie star, but when it comes to comedy and that section, Red Fox, Richard Pryor, Eddie Murphy, who had the biggest impact, let's say, on today's comedy?
You know what? Here is the beauty of being old. I remember all those guys in their time were the top of their game. In the 60s and 70s, Red Fox was at the top of his game. Okay. You wasn't going to be funny in Red Fox because Red Fox very seldom cussed. He always did insinuation stuff. He had an album called Wash Your Ass with a donkey on it. Okay. He had a product called Fug. Okay. If you can't hug it, bug it. Okay. And he did stuff like that. And at that time, that was some cutting edge shit. Then Richard came out and just said, fuck it, I'm cussing. Okay. And Eddie came out and did all that, and characters, and told stories. See, Richard told a lot of stories. Mudbone and other stories. Eddie had his the barbecue story, and things like that. And it was just a lot. Eddie had all those people to pull from to become Eddie. You follow me? He had all those folks ahead of him that I'm gonna take me some Richard Pryor cussing. I'm gonna take me some Red Fox storytelling. Little Richard Pryor, I'm gonna cuss because I got Eddie Murphy's audiobook, I think it is, and Eddie Murphy said when he first went on stage, he did Richard Pryor's whole show. Okay, he did Richard Pryor's whole show. That was his show to imitate Richard Pryor. And the club owner said, "Yeah, you're funny, but all you did was Richard Pryor. Do your own shit." And that's when he started taking some of his stories and cultivating and becoming the comedian he became. But although he had Richard Pryor and Red Fox on there, he had Della Reese, who was funny in her own right. Della Reese was a funny actress. I don't think she ever did comedy, but she was a funny actress. Then you got Robin Harris, who was up and coming. Then you had his brother, Eddie Murphy's brother, who was who had done so much stuff, and who else? Then you got Arsenio Hall. So you had a solid show. Then you throw all that, and you throw in Sunshine. Negro, come on, man.
Moment of silence for Sunshine. Oh, man, girl,
come on, man. Pussy so good. Pussy so good. It'll make you see sunshine.
He called his wife. He said, "Baby, put mama on the phone."
I ain't never coming home again. Thank you. Have a good life. Yeah, so that's some bad shit right there. And Della Reese was just clowning. She was just clowning. Hit me with my pinky. Shoot me in my pinky toe. You're blind, son. Just being Della Reese. Come on, man. That whole thing. And then they had Miss Parker in there. You remember that?
No. Miss Parker from Friday was in there?
Miss Parker's in there.
I had no idea. I'm learning something new. What part? Give it to me.
When they killed Tom, when they shot Tommy Ford, got off the elevator, that was his date. Miss Parker was his date.
Oh shit! What? Oh, now I have to go back and look at it. I had no idea.
Yeah. Are you with him? No, I'm not. And then Cantone busted him in the head, threw him in the room, and shot him and cut his throat. Yeah, that was Miss Parker from. She was still on Price is Right, if I'm mistaken. Yeah, so they had Eddie notorious for putting black folks to work. John Amos in Coming to America. Come on, man. You know, who else he had in there?
Coming to America, Arsenio again, obviously. The mom, who he had, I mean, always put the daughter, obviously. Shit, who else? Yeah, he played damn near all the characters. I'm trying to think, but he was Sexual Chocolate. He was the barbershop. He was all that shit.
Yeah. So, he was just notorious for putting black folks paying homage to older black comedians, man. Just putting the work. You had my man from Good Times there. So all that. Okay, then the same thing with Norbert. He had a couple of folks in there. One of the Wayne's boys.
That's right. Samuel Jackson was in Coming to America. He was the shotgun.
Yeah, shotgun dude. Yeah. So he put a lot of people on, man. Nothing but. And Samuel said no. That was his other show. He said when he did that movie with Wesley Snipes, he just got out of rehab. He just got out of rehab, and they was asking him, did he really want to play that role? He said, it's fresh in my mind right now. I damn sure play it. So, that was a whole nother situation. Yeah, I understand this character very well. I got this one. Yep.
Shout out to Samuel, man. All right, we got a few more minutes, Lonzo. Let's wrap it up. And I think every week leading up to it, we should talk about your prostate cancer walk. Give us a breakdown where you are. Tell everybody how they can get involved if they want.
Man, we have a prostate cancer walk coming up September 20th. Prostate cancer is one of the major killers of men, period. But it's more so black men because we don't like going to the doctor. I'm a prostate cancer survivor, and I've been an advocate for the past 10 years. 6 years I've been doing this prostate cancer walk. We'll be at Compton College. Go to lyricalrevolution.org, and you can donate. If you would sign up to be a part of come out and walk with us. Man, we got so many people from Compton that's embracing this walk, raising canes, Torrance Memorial Hospital, Holly Mitchell, Sheriff Department, Fire Department, a bunch of organizations coming out and supporting this, man. So this is really going to be a big event for the community of Compton because we got to show brothers that we give a damn about them. Men are actually do a lot. We actually take care of everybody, but who take care of us? We actually take care of the families, take care of the kids, protect the wives, protect the families, earn the money. But if you got prostate cancer, you can't take care of nobody. And that's one of those diseases that's very sneaky. There's no symptoms. And when you do get symptoms, it's sometimes almost too late. And before it gets to that, I suggest the brother come out and get checked. We're going to have free PSA testing on site right there. Free PSA testing right there. No fingers in the behind.
Damn,
No.
B-Con with another $20 last second. Woo!
Come on, man. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
Thank
I
you.
love it. Thank you very much, bro. Yeah, so we trying to make a difference in the community. And this prostate cancer walk, we're going to walk 12 times around the track of Compton College. Then we're going to have a conversation about prostate cancer in the art gallery at Compton College. So I got a buddy of mine coming out to help speak, Willard Pugh. You know, if you don't know his real name, think about Harpo from Color Purple. Okay? Think about Trustus from, what's it with Chris Rock now?
CB4.
CB4. He played Trustus in CB4. So yeah, another fellow Gemini, and he agreed to come out and be one of the speakers and talk about his journey through prostate cancer. I'll be there. Some more brothers will be there. I'm working on Montel Jordan to send us a video. He's a prostate cancer survivor. Cornel West is the prostate cancer survivor. But I tell you what, Lou Gossett was not a survivor. O.J. Simpson was not a survivor. Colin Powell was not a survivor. All these brothers died from prostate cancer. So yeah. So nobody talks about that. If you're not into it, you don't find out, man. This disease has killed a lot of prominent brothers, man. Farrakhan had prostate cancer. Farrakhan survived prostate cancer. So yes, it's a lot of brothers dealing with this right here, and they don't talk about it. Now, when I go out and speak about prostate cancer, a lot of cats will come up to me afterwards, man, what can I do, man? I just got to do the same thing. I want to support your movement. Woo, 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 woo. So yeah, man, I'm just trying to make some more survivors, man. Survivors making survivors. If I can survive it, you can too, but you got to catch it early. That's the only way you're going to catch it. That's the only way. You got to catch it early, catch it before it spreads to other parts of your body or it gets too bad. And that's what I'm trying to get this message across. Like I said, September 20th, Compton College, we'll be at there at 9 o'clock, 8 o'clock in the morning. Registering people, we're going to start walking at 9. And we just, we're going to be doing our thing, man, and have a conversation man to man about prostate cancer. That's keeping it 100.
Beautiful, man. Beautiful. Another way you're saving lives, Lonzo. Kudos to that. Any last words? Are we wrapped up? We started a little bit later, but you want to wrap it up, or you got anything else you want to cover?
I got a couple more minutes.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say, yeah. Shoot, hey, so apparently it's Missionary, the short film, the Snoop and Dre short film, Missionary. I did see it pop up on my timeline or something like that, but I guess we'll have to check it out, and I'll report back to you next week, and we'll see how it was.
That'll work.
Yeah, Missionary. Hey, did you ever think about doing any short films or anything like that, Lonzo? I know you do documentaries, obviously, but an actual, biopic or anything like that?
You know what? No, I haven't thought about it, but now that you mentioned it, this might be something else to do.
I think, yeah. Even with the advent of AI and things like that, you could probably do it damn near without using any actors. I'm just throwing it out there. We'll talk about that offline. I'm just curious. That would be very interesting. A little biopic and just some of your little stories. All the stories we've told on this show, because you used to do it back in the day, or you had someone doing it for you where they would do like a cartoon creation of a story that you would tell.
I found all those things too, and I would love to take the audio and adapt it to a cartoon type situation, like they do with the N.W.A. early days of N.W.A. You see those cartoons?
Yeah, exactly. Those are good. Those are good. I like those.
They're not accurate, but they're good.
Exactly. No, they're good. Yes, because we've talked about them a couple times on the show, and their accuracy is way off. But everything else is pretty damn good.
Yeah, the artwork is good. I love that right there. It's just, I wish people would. I know they don't have no money. They just going off of interviews, but they don't do the research to ask the proper questions to get the real answers. If you're trying to be authentic and keep the story straight, you gotta talk to the source. It don't work if you don't. If somebody else, you catch the wrong interview that somebody else said. Instead of listening to my interviews are pretty consistent, whether people don't realize it. I tell the same story all the time. I've been telling it for 35, 40 years. It don't change that much, okay? So if you got to listen to my interviews, or you just listen to a third-party interview, because people do a lot of reactionary videos, and they get shit all messed up. So holler at your boy. I ain't reached out for the dude, man. If you want to tell the story, holler at me. I would love to participate, and because I mentioned in a few of them, but again, like everybody else, they always focus on Dre, Cube, and Easy and all them folks. But again, there was a whole other world before you guys existed. You guys were in the 10th, 5th grade when I was doing my thing, man. 5th grade in junior high school. Come on, dude. It's a whole other world of hip hop long before these cats discovered the microphone.
That being said, hit it with that outro, Lonzo.
All right, folks, here we go. For those who never heard of me, I'm the first one who put Dr. Dre in the surgery, stuck Ice Cube in the freezer till he got cold on the eve after the 50-yard line to Super Bowl. In the movie Straight Outta Compton, they played me like a hater of rap. Don't believe that Hollywood bullshit because it was all cap. My history goes deeper than you will ever know. Just remember that N.W.A stands for not without Lonzo. Peace, y'all. We're out.